War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Hey everybody, Aaron here. Bad singing aside, but it's a good song. I'm talking about war today. I'm talking about war and violence today. Because of my little mental journey over the past 2 months. Let me tell you this. When Ukraine was invaded by Russia, sitting around thinking, scratching my chin, talking with April around the dinner table and stuff, I thought, you know what, I can see picking up a weapon and defending your country. Now, this is in contrast to my usual position, which has been one of nonviolence because of my Christian faith. Nonviolence. And so the idea was maybe just war here, right? Defending one's country might be okay. And so it was surprising to me that I was thinking that way. Now, it's been 2 months on, roughly speaking, since Russia invaded Ukraine. And now, well, lo and behold, nope, I've changed my mind back to my original position. War is never good. Violence is never good. Nonviolence is the only way to get things done. Now, let me show you what I mean. This little book right there, Jesus and Nonviolence by Walter Wink. He gives us some examples about the difference between war revolutions, what they cause, and nonviolent revolutions. His idea is that, and this is my idea too, that war and violence only promote more war and violence. Death produces more death. Hatred produces more hatred. Okay, so let me read you some of his statistics that he gives in that little book. In India, Gandhi, remember, Gandhi was a nonviolent revolutionary against the British. Out of a country of 300 million, only, and I say only because stick with me, only 8,000 people died in that switchover. And no British soldiers lost their lives, not a single one. In Poland, the Polish folk was revolting against the Soviets. You recall, only 300 people lost their lives in a 10-year struggle. Nonviolent. Only 300 people. And I know I'm onlying you, but hold on. In Czechoslovakia, the same thing. Nonviolent revolt against the Soviets. Only 70 people lost their lives, and all prisoners who were arrested were set free because of the nonviolence. Okay? Now, Wink goes on and gives us some others. Now, this is from last century, all of these. Here's some numbers from a violent revolution. Algeria fought against their French colonizers, a country of 10 million. During that revolution, 1 million people died. 1 million. Argentina fought against the Brits in the 80s, 1980s for the Falkland Islands. In 2 weeks, 1,000 people lost their lives. Hungary had a revolution against the Soviets as compared to Poland and Czechoslovakia, who did it nonviolent. Hungary did it violently, and 5,000 to 6,000 people died. 40,000 people were arrested. Many were tortured. Many never saw the light of day again. In Cuba, their violent revolution produced 20,000 dead. Nicaragua, violent revolution, 20,000 dead. El Salvador, 60,000 people died in that violent revolution, and that does not include combatants, army people or whatever. In Guatemala, over the course of 30 years, 100,000 people lost their lives. That's astonishing. Now, so let me give you my change of mind here. Like I said, when it first started, I thought, well, maybe that wouldn't be such a bad thing to defend your country with violence. But now, 2 months on, what is happening in Ukraine and Russia? Death upon death, destruction upon destruction, innocent lives lost, innocent lives, schools, hospitals, whole cities being leveled, mass graves being found, just economies collapsing. There's going to be a world hunger crisis soon because of this summer, because Ukraine and Russia exported fertilizer and Ukraine exported lots of foodstuffs. I mean, it's just devastating, okay? So War only produces war. Violence only produces violence. Death only produces death. And the only thing that will overcome those things is nonviolence in a Jesus way. Kingdom sacrifice. Kingdom love. Okay? That's, Jesus said it, right? And I'm going to repeat what that phrase I love from N.T. Wright. You can't accomplish good with the tools of evil. Killing someone else does not bring about peace. Bombing someone else does not bring about peace. What brings about peace? Well, I'm standing in front of a cross here in Easter season. Jesus gave His life. An innocent man gave His life. Death, He self-sacrificed for us, for the whole creation. And that is what overcomes death and evil. Good can only overcome these things. Death, more death cannot overcome death. Hatred cannot overcome hatred. Only love can overcome hatred. Self-sacrifice, self-giving, creative ways that allows for the redemption of the aggressor and the redemption of the oppressed. You see, where everyone finds grace. That's the only thing that's going to solve this. More bombs are not going to solve it. More hatred, more violence, more children dying, more innocents dying is not going to solve anything. This is an evil act, and only goodness, only godliness can overcome it. And so I want to share with you this idea. I have switched back 2 months into stupidity. I'm now back into nonviolence. Or like when the Ukrainians were taking down the street signs, the highway signs, so Russians didn't know where to go, and they, dismantled, blew up the bridges so nobody could get across. Those sort of things prevent, when we're creative, being creative like that produces resistance that is not evil. And that's what we have to do as Jesus followers. We resist in ways, we resist death and evil and oppression and all of those in nonviolent ways. We don't use the tools of evil to accomplish good, because you can't do it. So that's where I'm going to stay with that today. Hey, like, subscribe, write your stuff down in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.